for a few of them whom I really wanted to, I mean, doing the gratitude for them, like, which should work through me, because as I said, the others aren't doing all the activities and all the, so you said, unless you have a headache and you take the Saradon, it doesn't work. So
Yes.
I wanted to take that Saradon and kind of get relieved of that thing. Yes. So it
Hmm.
was a very nice thing. I was very happy about it. And yesterday, the best moment that I had was after 5 months, I went out for shopping. And वो financial abundance जो आपने मेरे अंदर डाला कि, it is not necessary that you only earn money. The discount you get is also like earning, and saving money is earning money.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I went to MNS, I picked up quite a lot of stuff and I got a huge discount. I was so happy कि मेरे इतने time में मेरे को इतना अच्छा deal नहीं मिला है. And I was very happy with that. Okay, now coming back to what I want to ask you is,
Yeah.
Ruchi, I am failing in my exam time. I don't know why, because you said कि जब post lunch के बाद ऐसा कुछ होता है बच्चों के बीच, and it is more with the kids than with the husband.
Hmm.
So the teenagers they are, and
Madhu,
होती
can you just be a little louder, or just give me 1 second? I'll switch off the fan on my side. 1 second. Yeah. Can you just be a little louder?
Can you hear me now? Is it clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yeah. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm constantly trying to, but I'm failing, and it came up to an extent where there was a argument between me and my kids, especially one of my son. And I was hurt when he said, "Ki, Mummy, no point of doing whatever you're doing." So that really kind of मुझे सोचने में मजबूर कर दिया है कि मैं ये जो 5 बजे उठ के 5:30 बजे उठ के कर रही हूँ, या इवन इन द नाइट वी हैव अ वर्कशॉप which is जैन का है, और which talks about how you embrace death. So I wanted to do this workshop. So I'm doing that also. So he's like, आप कितना भी workshop कर लो, what is the point? It made me thinking, रुचि, कि एक 14 साल का बच्चा मुझे पिन पॉइंट कर दिया है कि if you scream or if you shout at us or if you don't understand us, what is the point of you doing anything? And that is the fact. वो कड़वा सच है जो आया है मेरे सामने. भले ही मेरे बेटे ने कहा छोटा है मुझसे, 14 साल का बच्चा है, बोला है, but he's thrown the right thing on my face, and it made me thinking the night. In fact, I woke up at 4 in the morning today, and I'm thinking कि why is it that I'm not able to, why am I so impulsive, और मैं short tempered हूँ, क्यों गुस्सा आ जाता है, क्यों, you know, I don't know. I'm not able to take any kind of disrespect, and he disrespected me yesterday, which made me so impulsive. So I don't know how to come out of this, Ruchi. I really need your help, and I want to.
One thing that I can just tell you offhand right now, and of course there are lots of other things which always work better if you do it one-on-one, because everybody has a personal thing to go about it, because everyone has their own baggage, and unless you take care of your baggage, it does not help. Okay, but as an offhand thing, especially when you know that you are not, you might get into a space where you will feel bad about it later, is the best way is to move away from that situation. Okay, and that's the first step. When you, it's like saying that I see the exam paper and I know that I don't know the answer, so instead of trying to cheat on it, either fake it or trying to copy the answer or do any of that, just give the paper back and say, I'm not prepared, I would like to take it later. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
basically it is to say the first step towards anger or towards that irritation, the first step is to move away from that situation. If you think you don't know how to handle it,
Okay.
then and then get yourself away from the space. It's like saying that I'm on a diet plan and Roj I am tempting myself with rasgullas, right? So you are
Yes.
asking for it yourself. So after a point, the easiest thing is या तो रसगुल्ले को अपने सामने से हटा दो या आप वहां से हट जाओ. You
Okay.
can't stop other people from eating it, right? That's not your
Yes.
testing. Your
Yes.
testing is when you can control yourself and not have it. So move away from that situation. या तो अपना willpower इतना strong कर लो, which is what happens over a period of time, that it does not make a difference anymore. कि वो पड़ा है रसगुल्ला तो पड़ा है, I will still not eat it. Doesn't make a difference to me. But if that cannot happen, then until you develop that willpower, move yourself from the situation. That is definitely in your control. Take a
Ruchi,
walk, have a
I
glass
was
of water. Sorry, yeah,
I was thinking कि ये gratitude करके I was enjoying that bonding, and there were times when my kids were discussing with me and all that,
yes,
and
yeah,
suddenly ये सब करके एक हफ्ते बाद one bomb is coming and I'm like I'm back to square one. मतलब वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग, वो बॉन्डिंग हो नहीं रही है बच्चों के साथ जो मैं सोच रही थी कि हो रही है. मेरे ग्रेटिट्यूड में रोज लिख रही हूँ कि आई एम
hmm,
थैंकफुल फॉर द सॉरी
hmm,
thankful for the time I'm spending with my boys and the connection and the bonding I'm getting with my
yeah,
boys. वो जो मैं लिख रही थी वो
hmm.
तो कुछ हो नहीं रहा है. सडनली डाउट आने लग गया मेरे मन में कि मैं जो कर रही हूँ वो सही है कि नहीं है. पहले
Okay, so
बात
Madhu,
मैं
I'll
जो
just ask you one thing. Is it better?
व्हाट इज बेटर.
Is the relationship better from what it was earlier?
आई थॉट सो, बट कल का जो आर्ग्यूमेंट और हुआ उसके बाद मुझे लगता है कि आई एम बैक टू स्क्वायर वन. आई मीन द
No,
थिंग
don't
बिटवीन
let
अस.
one argument take you there. Let's be a little more realistic. Okay, बच्चे भी कई बार गुस्से में बोल देते हैं. Don't judge them or don't take their their interpretation on the complete final word. You assess for yourself कि in the past 20 days, it's at least been 20 days, today is the
Yes.
20th day. So
Yes.
in the past 15 days, 18 days, when you objectively look at it, has the
Okay.
graph improved? Has it remained the same or has it deteriorated?
If you ask me, I would say yes. But I don't know if you ask my children, what would they see?
No, that's okay.
Living
I'm
there.
only asking you. Your kids are
Yeah.
not with me in the process, so I'm not going to ask them. I will only ask you for because it
Yeah.
is for you to know. One off, yes, definitely I can see that it can be a wake up call, and that's the reason why I said in that case, move away from that situation. That's the first step to begin to manage yourself. Okay, and then look at it from a third party perspective, like we say, a fly on the wall, and
Hmm.
look at that situation where you are there and your kids are there and you are an outside observer and you
Okay.
are looking at the process, and then you will know how to handle it better. Sometimes we are so much in the thick of things that we do not assess the situation well. I'll tell you very, very honestly, many a times I can say the kids are not wrong. The kids are
Yes,
not
it
wrong.
is true. It is
Yeah,
true.
they
Even I
are not
realize it.
wrong because we are older. We have this whole ego around us that I'm the
Yes.
mother, I'm the parent. मैं जो बोल रही हूँ वो सही है, ये ऐसे कैसे बोल सकता है या whatever. It's sometimes the ego. Step out of that frame and look at it from an outsider's perspective. Look at it like you would look at your maybe brother ke children, या your sister ke children, या your neighbor ke children. Would you still be so unreasonable with them? You wouldn't.
No, no, no,
You
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't.
Yeah, you
Yes.
wouldn't. And many a times that is what causes the conflict, our ego. It's not because we mean to be disrespectful, or they mean to be disrespectful and we
Very
mean to be
true.
harsh with them. It's not like that. It's because we bring in our ego, and this ego which says I am an adult, you are still a 14-year-old,
Exactly.
and
That is what actually it hurt me. He hurt my
yeah,
ego, and that's where I felt it. That you behave a child, I'm your parent, you're not my parent. So,
yeah,
Ruchi,
yeah.
can I add something here?
Yes, please,
I
please.
I had a similar incident when I was doing my first time course,
Yeah,
and I was trying very hard, and everybody was making fun of me and things like that. And one day something happened and I snapped very badly. And Anoop and Anand, both my husband and my son said, "Kya fayda hai? Tum itna kar rahi ho? You haven't taken charge of yourself, and what are you trying to do?" So, I was like totally, like you said, the ego was so hurt because both the most important men in my life were feeling कि I was a failure. So what happened is मेरे को आंसू आ गए, but I just sat down and I said, ठीक है. And in the evening, I could only deal with them one at a time because it was two as an army. So I told my husband, I said, मैं try कर रही हूँ जान, and I'm trying very hard. Can you help me with this? Because it's not something that overnight I can turn or this. I'm trying very hard. I know I have misgivings and I have issues that I can't, but I will need your help. That changed his perception completely, because I took him, we became a team. The moment you
Okay.
tell them that, I am having a problem and I would need your help, it became like it was a collective
Effort.
project.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I met my son after 2 days. I had the courage because I was hurt, and I said, Kaise main bolu? But then I told him, I looked him into his eyes completely and I told him, I said, Beta, I'm trying very hard. Really, I'm telling you. For me, getting up that early in the morning, and I'm so excited. If you show me that there is some excitement, that you also share that Ma is changing, and it is all for us. It's not for me alone. It's to create an atmosphere in the house that I'm trying so hard. But Jay,
Exactly.
I need your help. I really need your help. I held his hand. I looked into his eyes because Ruchi at that time had said कि जब thank you बोलो तो आँख में डाल के देखो, because it's actually a real mirror of being pleading for help. I was actually pleading for help. And I'm telling you, God is kind, so kind. It's so kind that there are moments, because it's not कि तुम 21 दिन में अपनी पूरी pura apna real you can change. You
Yeah.
are trying to make a difference. You are trying to press the whole thing, get it out of your system, but you need the help. If you take the help, if you ask them, what you said yesterday was so true, but I need your help. Without you, I will not be able to. You will become a team. I think Ruchi is what she's saying. She's a guru, but it is my experience that I'm
Yeah, no,
sharing. I'm not.
and I love it, and I love it, Rachna, because that is very, very important. It's very important, especially with your children. I don't know whether with your spouse, and Rachna, it's amazing if you can go up and you can tell the others around and tell them that, I'm really trying these processes, but I'm unable to do them until and unless I get your help. And with children, it really works like magic. I have used it with my daughter, left, right, and center. Left, right, and center. Not when I've told her that I need your help for this or like that, but whenever I have been in an angry space. I have been very honest with her, and I have been brutally honest, and I've told her, just stay away from my zone right now, because I don't know that I will end up saying something nasty to you wherein you don't deserve it. Even vocalizing and saying that much is telling them very clearly we're not in a safe zone right now. You know what I mean? But that is where admitting it is so, so important. And it's amazing, like Rachna said, if you can look them into the eyes and you can admit and you can tell them, I'm really trying hard to do this. Can you help me? You'll be amazed at the difference it will make. And it's a beautiful point that Rachna, you brought out. Asking for help. Asking for help is so important. So, so important. And they'll all help.
Yeah,
They'll
because
all
it's
help.
it
Yeah.
defeats the purpose, because you are in that state, you're trying so hard,
Yes.
and then you don't achieve the target. It's the biggest failure for a mother, because it's
Yeah.
coming from a zone where you're a wife and you've taken pride in being the wife, the mother, and
Yeah.
when you are defeated there, you really feel like a scum. So
Yeah.
it is only so right when you take it and it becomes a teamwork. In my case, it worked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and I
absolutely. And that's why I said definitely in the case of your children. And the kids will love it because they are at that stage where they love to see their parents say that I made a mistake, that I am trying to learn something. They love it. They love it. I act like such a fool with them all the time when I'm talking about technology, all the time, because, it makes them feel so powerful, because it makes them feel so good that I'm coming and asking for help, and be very genuine in asking for help. Be very genuine. Don't try because it's being discussed in the morning today. You have to feel it in order to really bring them into the process as well. And it's not the easiest thing. That's why I said with children it's the easiest right now because of the age they are at, and they will be more than willing to help you. Try it today. Try it today,
Okay.
and that really means you have to put your ego away. It's like
I
saying
did
that.
that. I did that. I didn't want to sleep with a heavy heart, and I did it. That
Mm,
before going to sleep, I did come and tell him sorry, sorry, but I didn't mean it to turn out this way.
yeah,
But the argument went so
Yeah.
I did that part of it, genuinely asking him sorry, leaving my ego aside. Even though मुझे लगा कि उसकी mistake है, फिर भी मैंने कहा नहीं, मैं बड़ी हूँ. I have to show, how you have to
Yeah.
humble yourself, even though if you are at mistake. So I'm the adult in the picture, so I have to do this.
Yeah.
And with the thing, I did go and, but there was no. Obviously, he also saw this and he was hurt. तो वो ऐसा turn out हुआ. But I was just thinking, it just hit me so hard, Ruchi,
Yeah.
कि मेरा क्या मतलब है. आज मैं 3 महीने से I've done so much Asia engineering, this, that, and what is the point if I'm not able to get that peace in my house and that bonding between my kids and husband? तो कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. Then his dad tried to explain to him also कि देखो मम्मी कितना कर रही है, मम्मी चेंज होने की कोशिश कर रही है, मम्मी is trying hard, it will take time. How can she just change overnight? She will not change overnight. So my husband tried telling that to my son. He used the mummy's perspective also. But yeah, what Rachna says actually makes sense. Ki we can work as a team, and that will really,
Absolutely.
really,
Going and asking, which makes so much sense. So
yeah,
much sense. And like I said before, till you are not ready, don't attempt the paper. That you can do.
yeah. That is a good point. Yes, move,
Yeah,
move
don't
away from
attempt the
it. Yeah,
paper. Why are you trying to attempt it? Because you know what is hurting you now? Not the fact that you couldn't do it, the fact that somebody pointed out that you failed in it. That's
yes,
hurting you
yes,
much
yes,
more.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
and
Ruchi.
that
That
is
was
why
the
I'm
hurt.
saying exactly, and that's why I said don't take the paper when you know you are not ready for it. That you have under your control. So
Yes,
don't take it. And
yes.
now it is like co-studying together and doing group studies and saying, "Chalo, hum sab saath mein padhte hain." And then when I have the test, at least I know I have buddies around who might prompt me. You never know,
Yes,
you
yes.
know. Although it'll be a little cheating in that language, but never mind, it's okay.
Okay.
But
Thank
little
you so
prompting
much.
is fine.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Ruchi and
Yeah,
Rachna.
I
yes.
agree with all of you, but
Yeah,
still, even I feel ki maybe we have some drawbacks which we do not realize. So
yeah,
when if somebody has pointed out to us and we are on this path, I think we should take it positively that they are pointing out. It's very hard to just absorb ki we are having this drawback, which somebody points out. But then I think we need to polish that only, because even like how everybody says, everybody I think has faced that in the house. Everybody will say क्या फायदा तुम्हारा करके, ये सब बेकार है, तुम क्या सिस्टर शिवानी को सुनती हो, क्या रुचि को सुनती हो. Everybody says that, and I think somebody is vocal, and I'm so glad that Madhu you came out, because everybody can relate to what your problem is,
yeah,
in
yeah.
some way or the other. Somebody will not, they all want to keep the mutti close, that's it. Baki सबको कुछ ना कुछ problem तो है.
Right.
But
Very
still I feel कि जो ये they have pointed out, let us take it as a verdict of God कि भाई ये भी हम इसको पॉलिश करेंगे तो हम और सरलता से आगे बढ़ते जाएंगे. So that's how I feel कि उसको हम ऐसे positive way में ले कि whatever you have said, I should just think about it and try to rectify that point.
yeah, lovely. So true, no? You're getting clearly, you're being told कि ये problem hai. It's like somebody, and they can be so honest because they will not mince their words. They
Yes,
will tell you this is what you are doing wrong. And where will you get such honesty? Here you're getting honesty on a platter. You don't even have to go looking for it. Ki bhai, chalo, you tell me what is wrong. Where can I improve myself? Nobody, you don't have to go anywhere. Here you're being served very raw. Ki bhai, ye sari cheezon mein apne aap ko badal lo. You know what I mean?
true,
Yeah,
true.
it's so nice
Cool.
today. I think
Yeah,
it was very nice sharing.
yeah, yeah. So important, no? And
Yeah.
these are
Thank you, Pushpa
actually
ji.
your more everyday practical problems. बाकी सब तो चलो ठीक है, gratitude लिख लिया, blessings कर लिए, rock
Yeah,
उठा लिया,
that is
but
where
ये
the struggle.
challenging situations आते हैं, and that is why I'm so happy that never mind even if we continue a little longer, it is very important that we address these things because actually these are the elephant in the room, and this is what is going on in everybody's mind. हर समय तो ये कर लिए, and like I said, that's the exam time. So what do you do when you are in the exam time? One, you prepare better, and in preparing better, you have people around you who help you. Sometimes we take help not only from the teacher but also from our friends, and we co-study. So with your kids, co-studying is such a great idea. You know what I mean? And that makes
Yes,
so much sense. So
Yeah,
much.
and I think we have this group. So I think after sharing, you can, it's such a this thing that you can think, हाँ इसका बोला हुआ मेरे life में लग जाएगा. So at least let me try to
Yeah,
progress according to that.
absolutely.
So it's so important to share, and just think it's nothing new for anything. Something can happen to somebody, something can happen to somebody, and
Yeah,
it's life. Everybody is having it. It can't be just a bed of roses for anybody.
Yes,
yeah,
Pushpa.
But it's nice, at least we are on the same path, and maybe we are just together, and we need to help each other. That's all.
totally, totally.
I was a bit
Well said.
reluctant to share it
No,
in the
it's so
morning.
nice of you, Madhu. Really, I'm really very happy.
Yeah,
And Rachna, I liked your suggestions also, and really, it's nice.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
absolutely,
you.
absolutely. And asking them for help makes a lot of sense. Lot of sense. That's so nice.
Yes,
Lovely.
Ruchi. रुचि,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much.
Thank
वो
you
पता
so
And
नहीं,
I
I was
think
just
we should
thinking.
consider this the verdict of God also, because uh,
much.
जो कहीं से भी आपको अच्छी बात में भी आपको मिलती है, so God doesn't come directly, he just sends somebody to just say something and which fits into your mind.
Yeah,
So
as
I
per
think
sender.
Madhu, what Rachna and Ruchi are saying makes sense, and it will be all right.
Thank you.
Lovely.
In
Thank you so
fact,
much. Yeah.
Ruchi, my husband keeps saying me that why do you share these personal things on a platform like this, जहाँ पे 200 250 members हैं, and you're opening up. I said it is just not हर किसी के घर में कुछ ना कुछ है. मेरा मेरे बच्चों के साथ होगा, किसी का किसी के पति के साथ, सिस्टर के
Of
साथ, पता नहीं
course.
Yeah,
किसका
yeah.
किसके साथ होगा. As
Absolutely.
Pushpashi ji said, कि some are vocal and some are not vocal, but their doubts are being answered through others. Even
Absolutely.
मेरे भी कितने
Absolutely.
doubts दूसरे जन पूछते हैं, उसमें आंसर हो
Ah,
जाता है, मैं पूछती नहीं हूँ.
Hmm.
So he said, कि no, but it is like, you should get on to with Ruchi personally and, fix up an appointment and talk to her. I said, वो जब बात तब आती है, तब I ask, and moreover,
Absolutely.
it is for, like, when you share, of course, as Pushpa ji said, कि बहुत जन के doubts clear हो जाते हैं, because when
Of
other
course.
people share, even मेरे भी doubts clear हो रहे हैं.
Exactly.
So I
मधु
thought
मेरे
that
डाउट्स तो पहले क्लियर होते हैं. The same thing
I-
yes from yesterday. I don't know how to ask. Like I was not able to put in words. Okay, I just thought कि मैं आज तो कैसे भी पूछूंगी, and there comes Madhu with the same question what I was about to ask. Thank you, Madhu. Thank you so much.
Because
yeah,
like Rita was saying, sometimes you don't know how to articulate it. You don't know how to put across the point because ये दिमाग
yes.
में तो बहुत टाइम से चल रहा है, but इसको करेंगे कैसे या पूछेंगे कैसे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा. And that makes a big difference. Lovely.
And
Thank you.
this almost feels like a family to me. अब मुझे लगता नहीं
Totally.
है कि मैं क्यों, मतलब it is,
Yeah.
even though बहुत अनजान लोग हैं यहाँ पे इस प्लेटफॉर्म में,
Of course.
but I connected and I feel like, एक की प्रॉब्लम सबकी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है. Sorry रुचि, बहुत टाइम ले लिया. You
No,
please
no,
go.
that's okay.
no,
That's
it's
fine.
so nice.
It's absolutely fine. I've anyway
Thank you.
Problem
decided
solve हो गई है.
कल तो खत्म होना नहीं है. I'm very sure of it कि 21 खत्म होना है. So now let's
Grace
just
time.
take it easy. So why should we unnecessarily rush it? Because this is important. This is very, very important, and that's it's
This is
important.
a magnificent outcome that you are saying ये कल ही खत्म होना है. You go on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Allow me to add something to what
Yes,
Madhu said.
yes, Devika. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, she told कि इतना दिन से कर रहे हैं, 20 almost 20 दिन हो रहे हैं. The first and foremost thing is like the faith test here, the check, which is more important कि खुद को समझ में आना है कि where इतना कर लिया लेकिन where are you? The faith test is the most important. What I gained here, it's going to come to you. सब कर लिया लेकिन suddenly there's one jerk, and there you have to understand this is your faith test and you have to prove yourself.
And it'll come, like Devika said, it will come. We've got clutter. I can't use any other word but clutter from years together, and we are in a very short span trying to remove the clutter, which is not possible. इतने सालों का जो जंग लगा हुआ है, इतने सालों का जो और इसीलिए when we do these psychotherapies or these things, it's nothing but cleansing. वो processes को पहले cleanse करना इतना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है कि हर एक का अलग अलग process होता है, हर एक का अपना अपना time होता है cleansing का और अपना अपना तरीका होता है, but eventually the cleansing happens. eventually. So that is, because honestly, if we get into this discussion, we can just go on and on and on, because the cleansing is not just of this lifetime. Sometimes our baggage is of many lifetimes. So it takes
Yeah.
forever. It takes forever.
Ruchi, can I add something over here?
Yes, yes, Prerna. Yeah.
Okay, so what happened to Madhu happened with me more than a week back, but I didn't take it to heart. I'm like, so many years I've not been able to. I mean, I'm changing thoda thoda. How can I expect to change in 20 days or 15 days or whatever? So I really didn't take it to my ego, and I didn't feel bad also about it. I was okay with it. I said, okay, whatever they think, let them think. I am trying to work my best, and that's not going to pull me down,
Yes.
because they are saying something like, if it was, even if it's a mother-in-law or husband or whatever, it's not going to pull me down. It's like, okay, I'm taking a step towards it, so what if I'm still not up to it? It's fine, I'm not going to be hard on myself, because it's going to take a lot of time to undo what we already are.
Correct. And that
So
is
I didn't
why
feel bad. Madhuji, I didn't feel bad at all, and I didn't take it on my ego also. I was like, "ठीक है, जो हुआ
and
सो
that's why,
हुआ."
Madhu, I was only asking you, are you better than what you were? Just ask
That's
yourself that
important.
question. Thank you, Prerna. Just
Yeah.
ask yourself that question. Am I better?
I am better. Definitely, I am better.
That's it. Then you're on the right path. That's it.
Also, I feel, that this is a test. If somebody says like this, कभी कभी हम डगमगा जाते हैं और पाथ को छोड़ देते हैं. So maybe these are our tests to make us more stronger. कि whatever anybody says, yeah, okay, आपने बोला है, I will try to work on that. Whatever is not good, like if अगर कोई ने मुझे बोला ये तेरी बात अच्छी नहीं है, उस पे मैं वर्क करूँ और मैं और निखरूँ. और कई बार ऐसा होता है कि कोई आपका कॉन्फिडेंस इतना लूज कर देते हैं कि देन यू फील कि शुड आई कंटिन्यू with this, or is it waste for me to continue? So we all have to be strong. Whatever it comes, we'll go with this path.
Yeah. So that's why we said, na, that is why those are your testing times.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready for the paper, don't attempt it. It's okay.
We'll hold hands and we'll all move together.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
One
much. That was
doubt,
nice.
one doubt, Ruchi.
Thank you, Pushpaji. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, Nita.
Like Rachna Di said, like we have to hold the hands and we have to ask the help from the person who has told us what the use of doing that class. But if the other person is not able to listen and he keeps on nagging there also, pinpointing everything, then how can we come out of that?
That's why she said you have to use a lot of guts.
Okay.
You have to have a lot of guts. Look them in the eye. And the minute you are asking for help, that itself means you are shedding all your ego. Now, don't worry whether the person is going to judge you on it, or whether the person is going to laugh at you, or whether the person is going to say anything to you. Their reaction is not your problem. But trust me, and just the way Rachna said, somewhere it will make an impact in their minds. And they will turn around. They may not vocalize it, but next time there is a problem, they will support you, or they will stand by you in their own way. And that's bound to happen. But apne aap ko puri tarah se, you have to be in that space to ask and look in their eyes and say, I really need your help. I'm unable to do it on my own. And that is a huge step.
क्या
Huge.
वो डर लगता है अभी.
हाँ, नहीं तो वही तो बात है ना, उसी डर को तो आगे जाना है.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. So now let's get into reading, because it's an interesting chapter, and I thought of doing 2 chapters, but no problem. We're just going to do one today. That's perfectly fine. So who would like to read? I'm sorry, but did somebody offer to read? Dimple, did you want to read? 1 second. Yeah, now unmute yourself.
I finished reading.
You finished reading. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Would somebody else like to read? I'm just trying to see. Yeah, Rakhi. Yeah, sure. You like to read? Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Day 25.
Day 25. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Day 25. Cue the magic.
Yeah. Can you read
I'm
it?
not able to read. Yeah, yeah.
1
Okay, now
second.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Life is playfulness. We need to play so that we can rediscover the magic all around us. Flora Kovala, writer and therapist.
Okay.
Today's
So
practice,
one
cue the
second.
magic.
Just one
Yeah.
second. I think this one word over here, playful, can completely change the way you look at your entire day and you look at life itself. And if you say that every day is something like, say, a treasure hunt or something like a mystery room or something where I'm just gonna ask everyone, can you all just check if your microphones are on mute, please? 1 second. I'll just mute everybody once. Uh, yeah. Raki, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay, great. So I'm just muting everybody just to make sure that there's no disturbance. Yeah. So the very fact that we're using a term like playfulness means that if we look at life with the angle or with the lens of playfulness, itself makes it so much more joyful and so much more fun, and we don't take life so seriously. And this chapter will reveal how at every nook and corner, remember these are the last 6 chapters, and these deal with how magic is so portable, how it is so easy to take magic around with you wherever you go. And this is like saying, everywhere I see, I'm only seeing magic happening in my life. And everywhere I see, I can see there is some cue or the other that is being given to me by the universe to be in gratitude. So, this is about enjoying life. This is about knowing that life is a game and there are bound to be some defeats, there are bound to be some victories. And how do I approach this whole thing with so much joy? And this is what this is about. Okay. Today's practice, yeah.
Today's practice, cue the magic, is one of my favorite practices because it's a game you play with the universe and it's a lot of fun. Imagine that the universe is friendly and caring, and that it wants you to have everything you want in life. Because the universe can't just walk up and hand you what you want, it uses the law of attraction to give you signs and cues to help you receive your dreams. The universe knows you have to feel gratitude to bring forth your dreams. So, it plays its part in the game by giving you personal cues to remind you to be grateful. It, it uses it uses the people, circumstances, and events that surround you in your day as your magic cues to be grateful. It works like this. If you hear an ambulance siren, the magic cue from the universe is to be grateful for the perfect health. If you see a police car, your magic cue is to be grateful for safety and security. If you see someone reading a newspaper, it's your magic cue to be thankful for great news.
Right. So
If you want,
1 second, 1 second. So now this is where every part of your day can now become very, very magical, because automatically you will be able to say something that you are grateful for. For example, when you hear an ambulance siren, a lot of us do this. We pray for the person inside the ambulance and we say, I hope he's restored or she's restored to health, or I hope the ambulance gets clearance and the person reaches the hospital on time. These are very natural things that we do for the other person. But how do I cue this? And how do I say that what can I be grateful for when I'm hearing an ambulance? And immediately, the first sentence that can come to your mind is, the gift of health is keeping me alive. I'm so grateful for my health. And that very moment, you have given gratitude to your health. If you see a police car, your magic cue to be grateful for safety and security. I'm so grateful that everything in my house is secure and everyone is safe. If you see someone reading a newspaper, and this is my personal experience with the second group that we were doing, and at that time I had not picked it up, but now I picked up the line in my second time, where every time now I see my father-in-law reading the newspaper, I would never be happy about it because I wouldn't want him to start his day on that note. But now, the minute I see it, for me, it's a major shift, because I look at the newspaper and I say, I'm so grateful that some great news is coming my way. So that has now been a big shift for me, from which I picked up in my last reading, you know. So everything around you can now become a game for you, and say that what can I pick up from here, which becomes a part of my gratitude. I don't even have to think about it, I don't have to write it down, but the minute I see it, I immediately have a line of gratitude that comes out. So this is about giving you very, very simple examples to go ahead. Yeah. If you want to change the weight of your body, yes.
If you want to change the weight of your body, when you see another person with your perfect weight, it's your magic cue from the universe to be thankful for your perfect weight. If you want a romantic partner, when you see a couple madly in love, it's your magic cue to be grateful for the perfect partner. If you want to have a family, when you see babies and children, take the magic cue and be grateful for children. Have I missed some line?
No, no, no. That's right. Continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. When you pass by a bank or an ATM, it's your magic cue to be grateful for plenty of money. When you arrive home, it's your magic cue to be grateful for your home. And when a neighbor calls in to have a cup of coffee or you wave to them across the street, it's your magic cue to be grateful for your neighbors. If you
Yeah. So now every 1 second. So every part. Now this really brings in the whole discussion we had yesterday. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it is for you to see that can I now shift from jealousy to being inspired by being when I look at something that somebody else has. Can I be grateful, or can I make it a part of my visualization and say, oh, that's exactly the perfect body that I want for myself, and I'm so grateful for my body, which is helping me work towards my ideal weight. So instead of getting jealous of something that somebody else has, you make it a part of your visualization and say, I'm so glad I'm going to get this and I'm working towards it. And this is just a shift over there. Otherwise, we have this tendency to say, oh, she has a beautiful body and she's really, but you really don't know the amount of workout that she has been doing in order to get that perfect body. So we've completely ignored all the hard work, and we're only praising and getting jealous of the end result. So this is about saying that that's the end result that even I want, and I'm so grateful that I'm working towards it. Whether it is your ideal weight, whether it is for a romantic partner or a loving relationship, or whether it is for a baby. For me, whenever I see dogs on my road and I know all their names, I pet and I talk to all of them. Instead of being jealous, which I used to be at one point of time, now I'm just so grateful that very soon I'm going to have a little puppy in my house. And that is what helps me to visualize. The minute there is a shift, it's not the babies for me, it is a dog. So that is why I'm just using that. But the minute you say that, and the minute you say, I'm so grateful that he's got a good owner, or I'm so grateful that this pup is taking a little walk, I'm so grateful that it doesn't bark at me, and it wants to, it wants to be petted by me, it wants to be spoken to lovingly by me, and that just gets me more and more closer to my dream. And that's how you look at every small cue that is happening around you as a way to either thank for what you already have, or to visualize what you want. You can either have one or the two, or you can have both. You can have a great body and you're striving towards a better weight, and that can be a part of your gratitude for what you have now and what you're striving for. Similarly, when you cross an ATM, when you come back home, when a neighbor calls you for a cup of coffee, everything, it's like every breathing moment, every morning waking moment, every time during the day, you can spend in gratitude. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead if you
if you have
yeah.
If you happen to see one of your material desires on your list, such as your dream house, car, motorcycle, shoes, or computer, of course, it's your magic cue from the universe to be grateful for your desire now. When you begin a new day and someone says good morning, you're being given a magic cue to be grateful for the good morning. If you come across someone who is really happy, it's your magic cue to be grateful
Happiness.
for happiness. And if you overhear another person saying thank you anywhere at any time, It's your magic cue to say thank you.
Yeah, so now
There
it's
are
picking up.
unlimited.
Yeah, 1 second, Raki. So it's about you
Yeah.
constantly being aware and picking up these cues. And that's why she starts the chapter by a quote on playfulness. And only when you are in a game, there is going to be enjoyment. The same thing, if you are to do it as a task, there'll be no fun in it. But here, if the minute you make it into a little cue and you make it into a good fun exercise, you will begin to enjoy every moment of your life. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
There are unlimited and creative ways the universe has to magically cue you to be grateful in your day to day activities. You can never misunderstand a magic cue or get a cue wrong because whatever you think a cue is for, you're right. The universe uses the law of attraction to magically cue you, and so you always attract the exact cues that you need to be grateful for in that moment. Cue the Magic has become a daily game I play, and with practice, I now automatically see all the magic cues the universe gives me, and I give thanks for every one of them. It never ceases to thrill and amaze me how the universe finds new ways to cue me to set the magic of gratitude into motion.
Yeah, so like there's an important
When I,
term
shall I
here.
continue?
Raki, 1 second. There's an important term here. The
Yeah.
magic has become a daily game I play, and with practice. Okay, very, very important. Again, not something today we've read the chapter and we will pick up 100 cues from the universe. No, it is with practice that you automatically see the magic cues the universe is giving me. And I give thanks for every one of them. So, for example, like I said the other day, unexpected phone calls. And then now it's like universe's way of saying that when an unknown number is flashing, you can put yourself immediately in a space of gratitude and say it's going to be a magnificent outcome. So now that is something which I have added every single time I have been reading the book. I have only added a little by little by little, and we will discuss this on the last day on how do you take it forward for yourself. Otherwise, it can be overwhelming to try and do everything. So little practices that you keep adding to yourself bit by bit. So, like last time, the newspaper was a big revelation for me. And I said, now every time I look at the newspaper, the cue that I get is some great news is coming to me very soon. Now, when I see an unexpected number which flashes, I know it's going to be a magnificent outcome, or I know I'm going to get some great news from that particular phone call. So, you have to keep practicing these and bit by bit adding to your practices. Okay. Yeah. When I receive a phone call,
When I receive a When I receive a phone call from a friend or family member, it's a cue to be grateful for him or her. When someone says, "Isn't it a beautiful day?" it's a cue to be grateful for the beautiful weather where I live and for another beautiful day. If an appliance breaks down, it's a cue to be grateful for all my appliances that are working perfectly. If a plant in my garden is struggling, it's a cue to be grateful for all the healthy plants in my garden. When I collect the mail, it's a cue to be grateful for the mail service and for unexpected checks. When someone says they have to go to an ATM or I see people in line at an ATM, it's a cue to be grateful for money. If a person I know comes down with a sickness, it's a cue to be grateful for their health and mind. When I open my curtains in the morning and see the new day,
it's a
it's a
cue.
cue to be grateful for the it's a cue to be grateful for the great day ahead. And when I close my curtains at night, it's a cue to be grateful for the great day that I had.
Okay, 1 second. Now there are some
Shall I
interesting
continue?
things. Just 1 second. There's some interesting things over
Yeah.
here. When I receive a phone call from a friend or family member, it's a cue to be grateful for him or her. So the minute somebody calls, the minute you receive that call, the first thing you can say is, I'm so grateful I have a friend like her. I'm so grateful that I have a family that supports me the way this person is supporting me. Isn't it a beautiful day? Now, you'll find some people that if you say, oh, what a lovely weather, and I think this is something that had come earlier also, and they'll say, kya lovely weather, अब बारिश ही नहीं हो रही है, इतना sultry हो गया है, या ऐसे हो गया, and these people will turn it around for you. But sometimes if you have also been in that space, and that's why I'm bringing this up, that if sometimes somebody says something good, if you can't add to it becoming better, don't add to it becoming worse. Okay, sometimes very naturally, and this is also because we have just been in the processes for some time right now. We've really not achieved sainthood and things like that. So even if automatically it would be coming as a negative reaction or a negative sentence to follow whatever positive they were doing, now bite your tongue on that and don't add to it. Even if you can't add and say, yes, it's a very nice weather and I'm so glad. If you can't do the glad game, at least don't add to it by saying something negative or the opposite of that. And that's the only reason why I wanted to bring this up. If an appliance breaks down, it's a cue to be grateful for all my appliances that are working perfectly. And it's very funny, when one of the first days we were starting, I don't remember whether it was this session or whether it was the Ikigai, and my internet was not working, and everybody said, oh, we're going to do some magic dust and we're going to make sure maybe we've all not given enough blessings to internet, and that is why it is so shaky. So it's immediately you know that if something in your life is not working, maybe I have not given enough gratitude for it. So if one breaks down, it's an immediate cue for me to say thank you for everything else that is working perfectly. If one plant in my garden is struggling, it's a cue to be grateful for all the other healthy plants in my garden. When I collect the mail, it's a cue to be grateful for the mail service, unexpected checks, ATM when you stand in a line. So immediately say thank you so much for all the money I have been given throughout my life. It's a cue to be grateful for all the money you have. Similarly, for health, as well as for yours, as well as for the other person's health. And this one I really love. When I open my curtains in the morning, so this is what we use also, or what we call in NLP language, is to create an anchor. So now every time you open your curtains in the morning, the first thing, so you associate a sentence with the curtain, okay, and that becomes an anchor. It makes you attach a particular sentence to a particular object. So when you open out the curtain in the morning, you can say, oh, it's such a beautiful day ahead, or it's such a lovely day today. And then when you close the curtain at night, you can say, I'm so glad that I had a wonderful day today. So just by using your curtain, you can bring in that gratitude. Okay, so it's a very, very a good cue to pick up and try using this. Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Rakhi. Yeah.
Yeah. To play the cue, to play cue the magic today, all you have to do is be alert enough to take 7 magic cues from the universe during the day and give thanks for each one of them. For example, if you see someone with your perfect weight, say, thank you for my perfect weight. You can never do too much gratitude, so you can choose to do more. And if you want, you can even try to respond to as many magic cues in one day as you can. If you've been following the daily magical practices over the last 24 days, you will have reached a point by now where you will be alert enough to notice the cues the universe is always giving to you. One of the many benefits of gratitude's magical power is that it wakes you up and makes you far more alert and aware. The more alert and aware you become, the more grateful you become, and the more easily you attract your dreams. So, universe, cue the magic.
Yeah, so it's like saying, so universe, cue the magic. Now, this is again repeating the same thing. To play, cue the magic. I love the word play because it immediately puts you in such a fun and joyful, moment. And it says to play, cue the magic. All you have to do is to be alert enough to take 7 magic cues from the universe during the day and give thanks for each one of them. For example, if you see someone with your perfect weight, you say thank you for my perfect weight. You can never do too much gratitude, so you can choose to be more, and if you want, you can even try to respond to as many magic cues in one day as you can. If you've been following the daily magical practices over the last 24 days, you will have reached. I think somebody's microphone is not on mute. Can everyone just check, please? And please mute. 1 second. I'm just going to mute everybody once. Yeah, thank you. Uh, yeah, so if you've been following these 24 practices, I mean, if you've been following all these days, then you would have now reached a point where you will be alert enough to notice the cues the universe is always giving to you. So, tying up to our discussion that we were having earlier, and how Pushpaji brought in Raki, I think it is your microphone, so can you just keep it on mute once? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So, bringing in the conversation that Pushpaji brought in here, and saying that it is a cue that the universe is giving you, and it is just tying it up, and it is saying that this is what I need to work on. So you are becoming now alert and aware of now not just all the good things that are happening in your life, but also the things that you need to fix in your life. And this is saying that I have now been told what I need to be working on. So that, I think, Madhu, not just for you, but for so many of us, it has to be our first magical cue in the day, which says, when I'm being told what is not working in my life, it's universe's way of saying that fix this. And that is where you can pick it up as your first magical cue, right? And it's giving it to you. So for one of the many benefits of gratitude's magical power is that it wakes you up and it makes you more alert and aware. So definitely, the awareness you had about yourself, about your relationship, about the things you are not doing well or not, that require improvement, all of this are now being addressed, and therefore you are becoming much more alert and aware of how you need to improve yourself. And the more alert and aware you become, the more grateful you become, and the more easily you attract your dreams. So, universe, cue the magic. It's like saying, now come on, universe, and help me figure out all these beautiful magical cues that are stored for me. So, looking at the entire day, and not just the entire day, because this is something which you will find you will carry with yourself everywhere. And it's like saying that now I am ready to pick up the magical cues. Like yesterday, you said, Madhu, that wherever I went and I did shopping, and I saw that there were so many discounts, right? And that it remembered, and you remembered that money saved is also money earned. So that was your magical cue to say thank you so much for all the money. Otherwise, maybe the money saved by discounts is never given so much importance. But yesterday, you were able to do that. So this will become so easy for you to understand and adapt. And when I say you, I mean everybody, not just Madhu, everybody, for you to understand by saying, okay, it's going to be a game. And the minute it is a game, there's an element of joy, an element of fun, an element to say that not every day I will win. There will be days when I will lose, and that is what is the joy of it. But am I getting better than where I was yesterday? And that's the only question you have to keep asking yourself. Am I becoming a better version of myself? Bit by bit by bit, and that makes so much of a difference. So, on this note, I just remember this little story that I remember reading somewhere, and it spoke about two marble slabs, and one marble slab which was used for the flooring, and the other marble slab which was made into a statue. And I really don't remember how the conversation went around over there, but obviously, the marble slab which was made into a statue was chiseled and was hurt, and it was completely broken, and the sculptor was working on it from the side, and it took him so long in order to create a masterpiece. Whereas the other marble slab, which was from the same quarry, and the other slab was just made as a flooring in somebody's house. So all I'm trying to say is that the more you want to become a masterpiece, the more you need to know that you will be chiseled upon. And what do you mean by chiseled upon? You will be given opportunities where you have to work more and more on yourself. So today, let's look at how many cues is the universe giving me, and it's asking me to become a better version of myself. So I'm not going to be that marble slab which is going to be used for the flooring. That's also important. I'm not saying we can do without the flooring wala marble slab, but if I want to be a masterpiece, then I know I'm going to be worked upon. And this is my way of saying that the universe is going to show me different cues to bit by bit become a better version of myself. So this is where you bring in the magical cues. Okay. Yeah. Would you like to read the last part, Raki? If you can unmute
Yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah.
Cue the magic. Yes.
Magic practice number 25. Cue the magic. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list and at the end of each blessing say thank you, thank you, thank you and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Today, be alert to what's around you and take at least 7 gratitude cues from the events in your day. For example, if you see someone with your perfect weight, say, thank you for my perfect weight. Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing. I can read.
Yeah. Sorry. Best thing that
Best
happened
thing that
during
happened
the.
during the day.
Yeah. I'll just read the last line. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Raki.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So count your blessings, make a list of 10 blessings, write why you're grateful, reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Today, be alert to what's around you and take at least 7 gratitude cues from the events in your day. I'm really happy that she's moved from 3 and she's made it 7 because it gives you that much more opportunity to become alert and aware. For example, if you see someone with your perfect weight, say, thank you for my perfect weight. Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened during the day. So your activity is pretty simple. It's actually a game that you're going to be playing today with the universe, and that's going to be a lot of fun all through the day. And like she says that not every day it is going to be the best things that come to you, but also recognizing these little things that are coming your way because they are giving you an opportunity to become better and better. And that's why I could only think about that story about that marble piece. And if you want to be chiseled into a masterpiece, then bit by bit you have to keep growing towards it. So am I becoming a better version of myself? And just keep looking at that. And thank you everyone for writing and saying what Q means, because I'm unable to see the chat. So thank you so much for explaining it to Neeta when she wanted to know. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm so happy, Raki, this was your magnificent Q. Yes. So it's
Yeah.
like playing a game all day long, right? And picking up these 7 cues and saying that if I hear an ambulance, if I hear a police car, if I see the newspaper, if I cross the ATM, if I see fruits and vegetables, if I get a phone call, if I see somebody with my ideal weight, if I see somebody walking down with a really cute golden retriever, all these are my magical cues. And likewise, each of us have our own magical cues. So how do we convert our jealousy, our envy into our inspiration, into our visualization to bring it into our lives? This is all about that. Okay, so it's about being very alert and very aware. And sometimes universe gives you these, not sometimes, universe is constantly giving you these cues. Like for example, I must have told this story, but I'll quickly share it and then open it out for questions. And how my mentor, who came up to me in Sishya, and he said, so when are you going to leave the school? And for me, that time I wasn't even in the process of reading the book, or I knew about it or any of that. But that was my magical cue, or that was the universe's way to say, it's time for you to grow. You need to go out of your comfort zone, and now you need to get into something much bigger. That is where sometimes things people say will make you uncomfortable, and just connecting it to our conversation before, but they are only helping us to grow, and they're only helping us to become a better version of ourselves. Otherwise, if everybody was constantly praising us, then we wouldn't be getting criticism. And if we don't get criticism, we are definitely not going to improve. Criticism hurts, especially if criticism comes in a rude way or in a negative way. It does hurt. But in the long run, remember when we did that exercise of 3 people that you want to forgive, or 1 person that you want to forgive, and then you had to write 10 things you're grateful for, you realize how much you have actually learned because of that person's curt behavior. So this is about saying that this is the universe's way to cue the magic and say, how are you going to become a better version of yourself? Right. And also tying up to yesterday's conversation about sometimes there are hurdles that are coming again and again and again in your way. And is that the universe's way to say that rethink, revisit what you were planning to do? Maybe this is not supposed to be done this way. And it is very interesting, something I was reading yesterday, and it said how important it is for you to be flexible. You have made a goal, you have made a plan, but if the universe is constantly throwing at you hurdles, maybe the signature is not happening, the man is not signing, the property deal is not going through, maybe this is the universe's way of saying, revisit the plan, see it again one more time, see whether this is the consequence you want out of this. So again, it ties you back to saying that there are cues that keep coming in from the side of the universe. Okay, so I don't know whether it was Aarti who was asking this question yesterday. uh, yeah, Aarti, I'm not sure whether you were asking this question yesterday. And yeah, so does it give you an answer today, Aarti? Because I remember you and I told you that we will be addressing this tomorrow. So does it open it out for you? Does it make sense? Yes. Okay, great. Lovely. Thank you. So this is what it is about, so it's not always about all the positive things. Yes, all the positive things are very, very important, but also things that are coming your way by the universe, and for you to now pick these cues up and say, why is this coming to me again and again and again? Like bolte na, a silly thing, like they say, if a black crow is constantly coming and cawing at your window, and they say, acha koi guest aane wala hai, koi mehman aane wala hai. So these are all, different ways in which koi billi kaat li rasta and say, acha abhi shubh kaam ke liye mat jao, koi shubh kaam ke liye ghar se ja rahe ho to right leg se bahar niklo. So these are little superstitions, but I think somewhere they must have been connected, in saying ki acha aisa dal do taki log soche aise, ya, or they do it from one thing to the other. So I'm just saying, sometimes these superstitions have just been put in our way to make us just think again, to just pause for a moment, to just review that situation for a second and say, acha kya hone wala hai, just from that. And like she says, make it a playful exercise. Please don't be stressed about it, because this, I think, is one of the most joyful gratitude days that you can share. Because if you have it with a lot of आज बड़ा मजा आने वाला है, and I think Anita is there on the call today, so I'm going to say that आज बहुत मजा आने वाला है. Or even if she's not
Yes.
there, then yeah, then
Yes,
Babita is
she's
there.
gonna call. Yeah.
This is something
And
that
nowadays she's doing it daily. Any
daily,
work, big work is there. Bada
yeah,
maza aane wala hai.
बड़ा मजा आने वाला है. So this was a very nice thing that came out when we were having it in our first session, and Anita had said कि कई बार एक ही काम को बार बार करते रहे कि कितना बोरिंग सा हो जाता है. And I told her, एक बार उसको चेंज करके देखो and say, आज खाना बनाऊंगी, बड़ा मजा आने वाला है, and just use that one sentence, बड़ा मजा आने वाला है, and you will really see how the whole shift happens the minute you just use this one sentence कि आज दिन भर में मेरे को ये काम करना है, एंड यू से बड़ा मजा आएगा, आज मैं ये करूंगी, बड़ा मजा आएगा, वो करूंगी. बाय जस्ट यूजिंग दैट बड़ा मजा आने वाला है, you will see that there is a different joy, there's a different energy that you carry with yourself all day long. Okay, so that's about it from my side. It's a very playful day ahead.
Yes,
Yeah.
please tell the children in your session today कि आज पढ़ाई करने में बड़ा मजा आने वाला है.
Of course, you have to get them so excited, and that is why when I would do these chapters, say on Egypt, and I'm also, a little cunning, because chapters that I really enjoy, I would have a very different way of doing it. And chapters which I knew are boring, I would use reverse psychology with them. And I would tell them things like, pata nahi why they put these chapters in the book, they're such senseless, useless chapters. I don't even think it makes any sense. And the minute I would say these things, I would see that the children get very interested, and they would say, and I would tell them things like, I don't even understand what this paragraph means. I've been teaching this for so long, but I just don't get it. And then they would get so excited about it. I don't know, I hope my students are not seeing all this right now, because then I'm giving away so many of my naughty methods I would use, and then they would read the paragraph and they would say, "Ma'am, but this is so simple. This is all that it means." I said, "Really? Can you explain that to me?" I would just use reverse psychology with them all the time. So it really makes a big difference as a teacher when you walk in, and you the enthusiasm that you bring to that room can really define it. And I personally feel, especially for subjects like history, you can so kill it for the kids. And I tell them so many times, I feel so sorry for you guys, especially when I have to do classes outside and I have to help them, and they tell me stories about their teachers and whatever. But I tell them, I feel so sorry, because it is a subject that can be any subject for that matter, just not history. It can be ruined if the teacher walks in with that attitude, and you can make out if she's dragging her feet into the class, or if she's coming up with that chirp, and if she's saying, we're going to really have a lot of fun, this is one of my favorite chapters. And the minute you started with that enthusiasm, the class has already reached another level. But if you started with a level which says, okay, open your books and we will do this, and because even when I used reverse psychology, I used a lot of emotions in it, and that makes a lot of difference. So whatever you're doing today, bring in that little extra zeal in it. Ki bada maza aane wala hai, and it'll be really loads of fun. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So I'm just trying to see. Suman, you wanted to share, and then Shruti, sunshine. I'm sure every day is coming in a way. Yes, Rachna, we'll just get Suman to share, and then we'll go to you. Yes, Suman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
Continuing with the earlier conversation, actually, I wanted to say something. My personal experience.
Yeah.
I realized that because of gratitude, that introspection was very easy.
Yes.
Instead of reacting, I mean, I did react that time, but then I took a thought and I sat, and like the way she said, 4 o'clock she got up and then she continued thinking. So
Yeah.
that itself is a space that you would love to be in, because now you have a clue where to go about.
Exactly.
And then after that, I spoke to my son, and he gave me a very interesting perspective. It was regarding importance. I had an argument with him. I had called him, and he was doing something else, and I said, "Why are you not listening to what I'm saying? I'm not important to you that you are continuing doing your video game only. Okay, it was just a game on the mobile." So he's saying, do not go. Do not get the two things together. Don't mix them up. The thing that I'm doing may be more important than what you are asking me to do. That does not make you less important in my life. I said that is an amazing statement. How we correlate the thing and the person's, we mix the two things up with importance or with respect. So I really thought that was a very thought-provoking thing which he told me, and I wanted to share that.
Yes, yeah, very true. And it's so interesting, Suman, just to build a little bit on that, is what we say overthinking, right? And it becomes, जो बोलते हैं ना, राई का पहाड़, या making a mountain out of a molehill. So that बच्चा has just said something so thing, but अपने दिमाग में हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are overthinking it. Oh, so this person did not pay attention to me, so she does not love me anymore. So I think she's ignoring me. I think she's found someone else that she's become a confidant. In my head, I have made such a big thing. Whereas for the child at that moment, like he said, that I am just giving this more importance doesn't mean in my life you have less importance at that time. And it's such a deep thought to be with. It's so important that we don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Sometimes it can be something a very quick fix, and it doesn't even require so much of our time and attention to it. Very true. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Rachna, please go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's nothing very elaborate. Only thing is that when you talked about the cat crossing the road. Yesterday, Mr. Khera was talking about the same thing. And he said, we in India, we make such a hue and cry about small things, and we have superstitions, which is pulling us back. And he said, he was giving an example about him going to Jaipur, and then the driver stops the car with a jerk, and he says, they ask him, Ki, kya hua? What happened? So he said, Billi rasta kaat gayi. So he says, Ki, Billi rasta kaat gayi? So he said, nahi, abhi nahi ja sakte. He said, fir kab jayenge? So he said, एक आदमी और निकल जाए तब जाएंगे. So he says, एक आदमी just so he can go through a bad thing, but you will not. He said, no, I'm only thinking about myself. He says, look at the mentality. So you know how this chapter shows you that not to get into the nitty-gritties of what and how, but get into a positive state. The moment you pay gratitude to something, you are shifting your whole mindset from a negativity, because he carried on and he says it looked like the driver had done PhD. So if he had PhD on cats and crossing the road, so immediately made me smile that this book, the first time when we read it, was so differently brought to us, and today when we are reading it, it's just showing you that shift from a negative to a positive. When you see somebody who's very sexy, I used to look at Suraya's bums and I used to say, wow, what hot body. And, but I used to take joy. I used to tell her all the time, when we were doing aerobics, but that was not that I had any clue on positive thinking and all, but that was the kind of person I was. And I used to make so much fun of her bums, ask her. And as the most sexiest bums in town. And if anybody else was hearing me, would have thought, oh my God, what's with her, Rachna? I mean, she's talking about Suraya's bums. And she said, I feel so depressed about, my body. I've been doing so much. But the shift is immediately about something so glorious and say, oh my God, thank you for my body that I can work out. So the shift is such a beautiful, this chapter is, I think, is the highlight of the whole, because I think they're nearing the end of the book and they're leaving you with tools to remain positive in this on the street or on the journey of gratitude. So lovely. Thank you so much. And the way you have explained is going to leave a lingering the whole day. I mean, it has to become a way of life, the thought process of being positive.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachna. Thank you.
Can
because just 1 second, because and just putting this on the same note, that it takes 21 days to make a habit, but at least 90 days to make a lifestyle. And you are just starting out, and like Rachna said, the second time around, there's so much more. The other day Archana also said there's so much more we are picking up. I'm reading it this now for the 5th time and I'm still picking things up. So there's no end to learning from this one particular book. I loved that thing. Neeta, I will answer your question. I've read it, but I will answer your question. Let's just take a couple of sharings more and then I will say. Yeah, I'm just trying to see, Pushpaji, 1 second, if somebody else wanted to say something. 1 second, I'm just trying to see if anybody else wanted to say something else. Have I missed out? Yeah, Neeta, I've read your question, so I will. Yeah, Suman has answered. Yes, Pushpaji, go ahead.
Yeah, just to move forward, I feel कि ये chapter पढ़ के one thought just comes कि if we have any any unpleasant incidents also, I think we should be thankful कि at least I have a husband, at least I have a son, at least I have a family. So you can just imagine कि what would life be without them. Yeah. So I think that is again one more shift of your view कि क्या है. तो again we'll just come back to normalcy pretty soon if we just think that way.
Yeah, so true. That's why, it's all through the day. It's all through the day and playing it like a game. कि आज मुझे 7 clues उठाने हैं, and where all am I going to find the clues? I think one big clue we got today itself even before the chapter started, about becoming alert and aware, with Madhu starting, Suman with her perspective, Rachna, Pushpa, all of you are adding so much more to that one element, that how do I become more aware of myself, especially when there is a test paper in front of me. What am I doing about myself at that time? And that makes a world of difference, how we pick these clues up. So I think this was a cue that came in even before we started the chapter, right? Yeah. Madhu, I'm going to answer your doubt. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak. I'm just going to quickly first answer Neeta's thing. Neeta, the fact that your daughter could not join the class is maybe the universe's way to say that you need to teach her, and I don't need to teach her. You have it in your capacity to take it forward and teach her whatever you need to teach. And the best way to learn anything is to teach it. So when you teach somebody something, you get so much clarity on the subject yourself. It makes a big, big thing, right? Yeah. Madhu, just 1 second. We'll take a couple more sharings and then we'll go with your doubt. Yeah. Shruti?
Yeah, hi Ruchi. Hi
Hi,
everyone.
hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah.
So I wanted to share something. I told you about in the beginning the frozen shoulder problem, what I was having.
Yeah.
So every day while doing my walks, I used to do these affirmations like.
Shruti, just 1 second. I'm going to mute
Yeah.
everyone and then
Yeah.
you just unmute yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know this. 1 minute. I'm not able to see that. Yeah. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Yeah. 1 second. 1 second. Just unmute yourself, Shruti.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that the gift of health is keeping me alive, and the Louis Hay affirmations. So nothing happened for, I started it from the first day when you were started the second reading. It didn't happen, but to walk, I had to do something. So I kept on doing those affirmations like how hum log 108 wo mala karte hain. I kept on counting. And from past 2 days, I'm having a major relief in the pain which I have been suffering from past 1 year.
Wow.
I found a new physio and the therapy what they are giving. And when they are giving, I am silently doing those affirmations. And it has made a vast difference, though not fully cured, but it has made a vast difference. I thought, if I can't do anything, let me at least just say those affirmations. Kuch to hoga, Louis Hay ne likhe hai.
Absolutely.
And the gift of health is key. So it has made a vast difference. So I think it will take time, another time, but yes, it is going towards a positive
right path. Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely.
So when I walk, I take cue from sunshine. Please cure my hand. Sea waves, please cure. You can do something. Salt, please remove the negativity. So it will take time, but it has worked. I think.
And how beautifully you brought in nature as a part of our universal cues.
Yes.
Because I don't know, all of us can't go to the beach, but definitely the sunshine is universal. It's everywhere. So if you can associate something beautiful with the sunshine and say, I'm so glad that I have a beautiful day ahead, or something that you say, that it brings in so much warmth. Talk to people who live in European countries, and then you will know how cold it is and how miserable it can get beyond a point. So, being so grateful for our weather in our country itself is a huge thing. So thank you, Shruti. Thank you so much.
And just one more thing I want to ask, Ruchi.
Yeah.
Like when you have gratitude and you get what you want, but it is something what you have got, you don't want it. So there's a second application for that. You apply it again.
So that is what we say, that it's the law of the unprecedented consequences. That sometimes it is better not to get what we are asking, because after getting it, we may not really like it. So I would say, if it is a reversible situation, give your gratitude, say thank you so much, I have received it, and then give your gratitude and say I don't want this. If you can let go of it, or if you can change it in your own way, or then look for ways in which why you wanted it in the first place, and getting connected to why is so important. Go back to it. Go back to the why. And
Okay.
sometimes our gut feeling tells us we want it, but over a period of time, we kind of, with our own doubts, with our own, maybe this is not the best thing for me. Maybe we just want to take that away from us. So go back to the why again and try and see why did I want it in the first place, and see
Okay.
if the answer is there. Yeah.
Right. Right. Thanks, Ruchi. Thank
Thank
you
you. Thank
again.
you, Shruti. Yes. So Raya ji, I will unmute you only if you tell us the secret to your bums. No, no, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think she gave the secret away.
Yes. Please share. Yeah.
I think I have to share this. We had this very great relationship where we had 7 friends together, and we used to call ourselves the Super Seven.
So
And now when I think about it, I think, like you said, I think we just we like something in someone, and that's how we get attracted to them. And subconsciously, yes, we attract that in us also. So I think when Rachna spoke about me, I said, first of all, she's giving away my secret. And yes, we definitely had an amazing relationship with these 7 people, which we still do have. But I think we've attracted so much of it into our lives that somewhere down the line we've forgotten about it. Thanks to Rachna that she's reminded me about it. And yes, I want to share that yes, when you see something and when you get attracted, I think you attract the same thing in you also.
absolutely.
So I think I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and share that with all of you.
Yeah. So like we say, your vibe attracts your tribe. And this
Yes.
is just your vibe, which has attracted the right tribe. And
Yes.
sometimes, you'll also feel that you start becoming very uncomfortable with a certain group. And for me, I personally feel that there's nothing wrong with the group. I am not fitting into it anymore. So maybe there is something which has happened as a shift in me, that I can't relate to those people. And I read something somewhere about, writing. That you were hearing somebody gossip, and then you just did not want to be a part of that again, because you are growing in your processes and you don't want to remain with a group which is pulling you down. And then you will find your own way. You can either disconnect, or you can just move out of it, or whatever.
Absolutely.
You will find it. You will find it. I'm just trying to, trying to read where that remark had come in, but it was on those lines. Yes. Thank
I
you.
want to say something, Ruchi.
Yes, yes, Gauri. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to add 2 things over here, my feelings. One was nature, sunshine. When we are talking about so much, we can talk about it. Though we are all now in this age, I feel we're getting closer and closer to realizing about, realizing the nature, how it helps us. Whenever every day in the morning, I'm giving water to son. And since COVID times, I just say, wherever your sun, your rays are reaching, please help everybody with Arogyam to get better because of this pandemic. And then in the second minute, I just say, you're reaching everywhere. The sunshine is reaching everywhere. So please help everybody cure and get out of this pandemic. Then I say sanitizing. The minute the sunshine is there, oh, this terrace is sanitized, my body is sanitized, my clothes are sanitized. Let me take it another minute of this sunshine. So this is how it's not a ritual. It is also, we are absorbing everything and accepting and grateful for everybody, my family. Then I say automatically, my family is safe. If I'm wishing for everybody, I don't have to wish for my family. So
Right.
that was one thing I wanted to say. And
Love.
second, you were saying the reverse, when you wish for something and then that happens and you realize that, this was not exactly what you should have had and gotten, and you realize what went wrong in wishing. I want to share my example, and it is so apt here. All these years, for past 15, 20 years, I would always, wish, we are busy and working and we have good work, and everybody would say there'll be a time when you and your husband are so busy you wouldn't know. And then when I would say, wow, wonderful if that happens. But then when it happens today or in the past few years, I say we should wish we are busy constructively and productively, not wishing just to be busy or busy with our work.
but some good things come out of it. So then I rectify now. Yes, it's good to be busy, but good to be busy doing what, and how, what results we are achieving. So just wanted to add that to that.
Lovely.
Thank you. Thank
Jyoti,
you.
we love to hear you. We haven't heard you for so long. What would you like to say about what you've just written, the shift in our path and personal growth? Please add to that.
I'm just enjoying listening because sometimes, the refueling is always good.
Yeah.
I'm just listening. But when you mentioned about, when you have to move away from certain groups and all that, I've always felt like they should not feel that it's not about them and you don't like people. It's just that how we look at a path that we are trying to move up. And I just feel, you need to keep shedding a lot of weight. Physically might be a little bit of an issue for me, but I always think there are a few things I have to keep moving on because there are things that can anchor you, hold you down for not so great a reason. So I
Absolutely.
like that point you brought it out because I think each one of us here, I'm sure will agree that there are certain groups where you're just stagnating. It's not that anybody's bad or bad,
Absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
I
It's
thought it
not
was so
staggering.
important with
Yeah.
the processes that you're even saying now. This discussion goes on. It doesn't mean once you shut your class, the session is over. It's not really over because we are sitting and reflecting upon it. And when we sit and write, it takes you at least an hour at least. And throughout the day, you're mulling and chewing about the whole thing. So I just feel it's a point which you brought up, which was so bang on for me. It resonated with what I feel, and I thought I should immediately tell you. So I posted that.
Yeah.
But I'm just enjoying it. Sometimes you don't want that waters to be disturbed in any way. So I'm just enjoying my stillness. That's all. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, Jyoti. And it's so important. Sometimes it's just about knowing that I am changing. So there's nothing wrong with the group. I don't fit into the group anymore. And I am feeling that I need to move. And that's important. It's not about the other group. I always say I'm having a problem, not them. I'm changing, not them. So, you just become aware of that. Yeah. So we'll take Madhu and then we'll take Neeta and then we'll take Priya and then we'll call it a day at 7:25. Yes. Yes, Madhu. Yeah.
Ruchi, I have these doubts. It's actually not my doubts, but my husband's doubt
Hmm.
that about the gratitude journal that we maintain, right? We write in a diary or a book or whatever. He
Hmm.
just wanted to know, do we need to maintain the journal or can we just every day do our gratitude and, you know, throw away the paper or shut it off or,
So,
not maintain a diary?
so the first thing is that if it is a book, then it'll definitely be with you for a longer period of time. But
Yes.
after it gets over, I just dispose it. I don't hold on to it.
Okay,
I
but
don't.
what if he writes every day on a paper and then dispose of the
Why
paper
would you
then and
want
then?
to write it on paper? Don't write it on
Because
paper because
because he said कि कभी सुबह नहीं होता है तो मैं ऑफिस में मेरे को अगर 10 मिनट मिला तो I want to write it and I want to shut it off so that nobody reads it.
no, that
So
is
is that
okay. But then please come back and write it in your journal.
okay?
The reason I'm saying is on a day that you're probably not feeling so good, okay,
Okay.
and you just pick up that book and you just read 4 5 pages from the back, suddenly you will recall
Okay.
something which will make you feel happy immediately. So don't do it on paper, not all the time. Keep
Okay.
it as a journal, and
Okay.
over a period of time, once the journal gets over, I mean, I don't hold on to it, but that's everybody's personal space, so I'm not going
Okay.
to comment on that. If you
Okay.
feel that you want to hold on to it, you can always keep it, but I just dispose it off because a new one has come in its place, so I don't hold on to that. But definitely please keep writing in a journal and not on bits of paper, because then you
Okay.
don't have memory or track of it. At least 4 5 days ka hona chahiye, then it
Okay.
is good, right?
Another
Yeah.
doubt is, Ruchi, is he asked me this. मुझे लग रहा है मैं मेरे हस्बैंड की रुचि बन चुकी हूँ.
I'm not sure whether he's going to be happy about it or not. Ask my husband, but never mind. Yes.
वो मुझे सब कुछ मुझे लगी he's got into that practice and I'm so happy about it. He is not joining the morning session, but at least he's getting through me whatever he can get. I mean, whatever I'm able to give.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
my doubt is, क्या था? हाँ, yeah. He said कि ऐसे कैसे मैं विश्वास कर लूँ कि जो चीज है नहीं और तुम बोल रही हो कि मैजिक से आ जाएगा. For example, if it is an deal or if it is some money in the account, the debtors I was talking about. रुपया आया ही नहीं है अकाउंट में, मैं कैसे थैंक यू बोलूं कि मेरा रुपया आ गया है. My money is back. So he wants an explanation. I said, you can't use logic in magic. I
Exactly.
told
So
him
you've
this.
given the right answer.
Yeah, but then he's saying I need to be satisfied to do it.
The
Now I have to
minute,
feel that to do. नहीं तो
the
तुम्हें
minute
सिर्फ
there is
thank you
going
बोलूंगा, but it doesn't make any when I'm not satisfied or with that answer.
exactly. So then, like yesterday we were saying ना कि आपने खीर में वहीं पे दही डाल दिया है, तो वो खीर अच्छी बनेगी ही नहीं. Yeah, you're not going to get that. The minute there is going to be doubt in it, the minute you are, it's like saying that you bought a fantastic car and then you have got one particular wheel which is completely stuck, or there is a particular brake which has been put on that car will never run smoothly. So the minute
Yes.
you're putting these doubts over there, you're
Mm.
already putting the spokes in the wheel, so you're not going to go with it. What
So
is the
Ruchi,
harm? Now,
my
my
doubt,
question is, okay, this is what you can ask him. What is the harm in visualizing? बुरा क्या हो रहा है? कुछ हो रहा है बुरा? ऐसे भी तो पैसे नहीं आ रहे थे ना?
no, what he's telling is you want me to do with 100%,
Yeah.
with mind and heart, right? The
Correct.
gratitude.
Absolutely. So my question to him is that if you have to do it by 100%. By not doing it, is there another way by which you can get it?
No, there isn't.
So then why
As
not
of now,
just
there
try
isn't.
this? It's like having faith in homeopathy, na? And
हाँ.
saying हमको थोड़ी पता वो 4 गोलियां छोटी सी कहाँ जा रही हैं और क्या असर कर रही है, बट हम लेते तो हैं, बट फेथ से ही ले, बट हम ले तो रहे हैं, बट एट दैट टाइम डोंट ब्रिंग इन दैट डाउट एंड से इसमें नुकसान क्या है. अगर आपको फायदा नहीं दिख रहा तो नुकसान भी कहाँ है, तो ट्राई करके देख लो.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So sometimes you have to.
Or is it to do with more of the aura cleaning and from where he comes from that he's not able to? Is it to do with all these
So
things, or it
there's
is
a
just
lot of things that
logic?
can go into it, Madhu, and we can really take this offline because it's getting
Okay.
7:30 now.
Sure.
But definitely there can be a lot. But I will just say over here, what is the harm in doing it? If you can't see any harm, you can't see any good. But in the
Yes.
side effects, are you seeing any harm? You're not
No.
seeing any harm. So
No.
then do it.
Yeah. Fine. Thank
I'm
you.
just saying, from a shortcut view, you can
Yes.
just use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Neeta, quickly, your question, please. Yeah.
Yes, like
Yeah.
from past 20 days we are doing this,
Hmm.
but I feel like many times now I'm more silent.
Hmm.
Maybe it is because of what I'm just I do not understand why, and something is going on in my mind, and that is also not clear. So I
Okay.
just needed a
So,
clarity. What is that
so
silence? And
silence, I will say, is always good because it gives you time to introspect. Just what Suman brought in, that the fact that you're becoming more alert, you're becoming more aware, you're becoming more quieter, and it is saying ki instead of saying something wrong, it's better I don't say anything at all.
yeah,
And that's not a bad thing at all.
yeah. But sometimes I feel I'm lost. I'm not in that situation at all. Then my husband says, "What are you thinking?" I said, "Nothing. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm blank at the situation. What is
So
going
send
on?"
me a message and I will reply. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, Priya, we'll go with your sharing and then we will. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ruchi, I just wanted to say this
Yeah.
that coincidentally, I have a book of quotes in which, whatever I generally hear something, I write it. And today morning I was reading that. And in that, there was a quote that, if you want some habits to last forever, you should join a group where the desired behavior is the normal behavior.
Normal behavior. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm
So true.
just
Yeah.
thinking that I'm so lucky that when I listen to what Rachna, Suraya ji, and Pushpa ji, Madhu, they all say, I feel that I'm so blessed. Definitely, what we are learning from you is so important. But their sharings are elevating our level of thought process.
Absolutely.
It's like we've studied in a Montessori where we had or we always had seniors and juniors combined together and never realized the value of it. Today, as I'm doing this, I'm just thinking it now at the age of 42, I have realized that Montessori was important. Because when you have seniors who are sharing their experiences, and we seniors and juniors, I think people are doing it for the second time and first time, it's making so much of a difference. So I think this is my magnificent outcome for the day, that something we did as a child and we never realized कि अरे क्यों है बड़े छोटे सबको एक ही क्लास में डाल दिया. Maybe they wanted to save space, this, that. Today, at the age of 42, I've realized See,
Yes.
what is that important for?
Love,
Outstanding. I'm so,
love,
so grateful. And
lovely,
I'm
Priya.
feeling very happy. What you said, gratitude, cues,
Hmm.
small things are what matter. And that's what makes our life different.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. I'm feeling so blessed every moment. Every moment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All of y'all for being, being all that. You're talking about seven. I already have seven cues here. I
Right
think more
here.
than that.
Yes.
Seven
Yes.
people who've given seven different cues. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Shruti, for writing something so sweet that it's like morning satsang with Ruchi. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who's writing. And so true, your peer group is so important in your learning because it really brings about a change to so many perspectives. And you are in the right group. And that's why we constantly keep saying your vibe attracts your tribe. So you definitely have that same vibe in order to come into this tribe, and that's such a nice thing. Yes, Gauri, we'll take your question and then we'll call it a wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruchi, I need your approach to this. For
Yeah.
very long, I'm trying to work on myself in terms of anger. You
Hmm.
did address, leave that space,
Hmm.
tell
Hmm.
your family and leave that space.
Hmm. Hmm.
And obviously, I'm trying to work on it, very aware of it.
Hmm.
How would, take it a step further, how would you like to handle if somebody wants to control their, anger and speech? I'm talking for myself. How
Right.
do I work upon it from your point of view and this
So
book's point of view?
right. So I'm not sure whether it really came into this book, but since I do a lot of therapy work and as coaching and everything, one thing that we talk about is you don't control your anger, you manage your anger. Okay. So the first shift is you don't suppress it or you do not do it at that moment, but definitely you do it as a part of managing your anger. And when we say we manage our emotion, we come out of that space and then we review that space. And that is why taking that 10 seconds off or taking 10 deep breaths or going and having a glass of water and not immediately reacting to something, but you respond to it. So the major shift happens when you say, I am not going to immediately give an answer to this, but I'm going to take a moment off and I'm going to think about it and then I'm going to respond. So the minute you say, I will not react, but I'm going to respond, is a huge shift. And there are ways in which you do it, and one of the best ways to do it is get yourself out of the situation first, have a glass of water, take about maybe do your 100 magic steps at that moment and just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you without any reason, and you will see a shift in the way you're feeling. And the minute you're feeling better, you will be able to handle it better. Because again, it comes to this whole analogy, and it's very interesting because they say if it's a glass of water and you shift it, the water will fall out. If it's a cup of coffee and you move it, the coffee will come out. So actually the anger is not outside, the anger is within. So if I know how to address the anger which is within me, so maybe it is something that I'm carrying from my workspace, and then that anger is within me, and somebody from my home comes and tells me something, and that cup of mine has been shaken, and what is inside me is anger. So actually what the person is saying at home, maybe your child or your spouse, is nothing that you can really feel so angry about. But because you are carrying that anger from inside, from somewhere else, and that's what we call as a displaced anger. कहीं का गुस्सा कहीं और निकल रहा है. So telling yourself, and it's a lot of being aware and alert, that I am right now not feeling okay, which is what I keep telling my child all the time. I'm not okay, don't talk to me right now. I don't want to snap and tell you something which you don't deserve. And it's not like I'm so saintly, huh? Let me tell you very honestly, I also have my swings and I also lose my temper. But yes, what I do very, very truthfully is go back and apologize and say, I'm sorry, it did not require me to get so irritated with you, but this is what was happening in the background, and that's why the anger came out on you. And I'm truly blessed to have a child like her who's so sensitive and who immediately tells me, yes, mama, I figured out. I knew it is coming from somewhere else. and just allowing herself to be the punching bag at that time. And not everybody is blessed like that, because immediately they will retort back and they say, you know what, don't bring your anger onto me, don't try to do that. But because we have been I've been so honest with her, with all my processes, with everything, so it is easy for me to now be in that space and be very honest and tell her, stay away, I'm in a bad space, don't talk to me right now. So you need that time to process yourself, and that's where we get wrong. We don't allow ourselves to process. But for me, because I've been in these things for so long now, I would say more than 10 years, from the time I've been doing my NLP courses and whatever else, I have become very aware. Even the slightest shift within me, I may not be able to pinpoint and say mujhe kis cheez ka, why am I upset, but I definitely know I'm upset about something. And then you have to be double watchful. It's no reason why it should go on to somebody else. And it comes over a period of time. But as of now, just say, I'm not okay, I'm not feeling fine, I need some time to process this. Write it out or read it out or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. I'm 10 minutes into my Monvrat, but never mind. And we will have our own magical day ahead, and you will look for 7 cues which the universe is throwing at you. So many have been thrown today itself in the session. Like Priya said, it's for you now to pick them up. Okay. And on that note, I'll say thank you very much and have a fantastic day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you
बड़ा
so
मजा
much,
आने
Lucy.
वाला है.
Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you.